Game 1 of the Grand Finals. Riku, Omo, what are we expecting here? This is Team Secret and SBTC Esports.
I'm just hyped that we have no time to rest. We're getting right into it. From the performance, the ceremony, the video clip that we saw of all the teams making their way into the Grand Finals, now directly into the draft. There's so many things I want to look out for, but right from the get-go, Kirill is not getting that Kai'Sa. Team Secret, they've seen enough highlight clips from him.
Exactly, and the same thing goes for SBTC. They've seen enough of Trevor here on the Vi that they know that most likely they want to put Kirill as one of their single target threats, or possibly Julie, as it has been the answer to directly eliminate right off the bat carries in a team fight.
Yeah, and looks like they found enough of the Olaf as well. They know what Team Secret can do with it, but Mina is leading the charge here.
Giving up the Camille in a game 1, this is gonna be a big gamble from the side of Team Secret. Let's see if they have a good answer for it. Graves, I don't know how I feel about this. There is an off chance that Azar plays this Graves sparingly. He has done it before. I don't think it's the best pick, but they must have a strategy prepared, and it seems like their strategy, now correct me if I'm wrong here, Riku, but I do believe this Graves is gonna go to Trevor. It's gonna be hyper buffed by the Lulu, played either by Tatsuri or Hamas, and they're gonna look to put on the Trevor show here.
Yeah, it makes me wonder whether or not they're going for the big Yasuo pick as well for Tatsuri, just because it's going to be an easy knockup, but it might be overkill for like just too many carries on the same team. But again, it spells the Team Secret formula of 5v5s, but yeah, there it is. The Lee Sin Camille combo is going to be deadly.
I'm really afraid right now. SBTC's team composition is looking so good for them. This is right up their alley. These are all picks they love to play. Ziggs can be played by Julie or Kiro. You have TF on his signature Lee Sin. Normally, we see people play against it once and permaban it the rest of the series for a reason. No way he locks this in.
What? Yeah, I'm really shocked. Okay, Nunu now going to be Trevor, so you're right. It is going to be Azar on this Graves, but Vayne and as well as Lulu. So it makes me wonder, usually when we see a Vayne, there is like maybe an Orianna in the mid lane, maybe to make sure that there's the Jarvan 4 for an easy condemn, but we'll see what Team Secret decides to pull up.
So the Team Secret, the call of their team composition right now is the Nunu for the zone control to create space for the Vayne. The Vayne is going to get hyper buffed. There we go. That's exactly what I expected. Tatsuri is going to be buffing Trevor's Graves in the early mid game so that Trevor can take over the game, and Hamas and Chewy, they're gonna be staying, farming passive until the mid to late game. Then it's Chewy's time to shine. Then he's the one gonna get all the buffs, and you have a huge area of zone control. The Freljordian tanks in front of him, and it's just gonna be the Chewy show. So they've clearly come in here with a game plan, and I'm so excited to see how Team Secret's comp is gonna play out.
Yeah, this is just mind-blowing because it feels like the composition that we're seeing for both SBTC and Team Secret, it looks like we're playing in a completely different season because these are picks and combination of picks that we haven't seen before for the entirety of the tournament. This is exciting. Game number 1, it's just mind-blowing.
Riku,
not on the line.
Did you see Hamas smile? Hamas cracked a smile while he was drafting. This man is up to something. This man does not smile. Why is he smiling? Now it's messing with my head over here. And we are starting off game 1 in this way. Okay, all right.
I love it.
I
love the picks. It's a very clear prepared strat for Team Secret, and I'm hyped to see how the Graves does into the Camille. They left it up for a reason. Let's see what Azar has to offer.
Let's go. Game 1, SBTC Esports versus Team Secret. Casters, take us into the rift.
Thank you very much, Mika, and like you said, it's game 1 of potentially 7 games. The BO7 here, TJ, SBTC Esports, and Team Secret, and well, Team Secret pulling out those secret strats. But let's start with SBTC, bringing in this Lee Sin early on.
Yeah, clues in the name, Grandon. Team Secret always here with the secret strats. SBTC, like you said, are playing bread and butter. So for everything that Team Secret are surprising us with, this is just what you expect SBTC to do. They've got TF, possibly the best jungler in the world, pulling out Lee Sin, who's definitely one of his favorite characters. Look for them to press through this Lee Sin, through TF in the early game, and try and take a massive early lead, knocking Team Secret out of the game.
And this is interesting as well. SBTC starting with Venus, they're not going to run with Unero, bring in him as this big Baron laner.
Which was something we were worrying about because Yanaro has been subbing in and out and having some good performances, but being inconsistent. So there was a big question hovering over the top of SBTC. which Baron laner do we see during the Grand Finals? And the answer is Minas, which means SBTC can play towards that top side of the map, and you can expect Kirol to be left relatively attended during the early game. He'll sit tight, scale into mid alongside Arkano's Thresh, and be a real terror for Team Secret.
And I think the discussion has to go towards Azar a little bit, because if we mention Minas, it has to be Azar next.
On the opposite side of that top lane, pulling out a Graves. And it's not the only weird pick. We see the other weird pick on screen right now getting challenged, a Lulu mid. Neither Graves top nor Lulu mid are entirely out of left field. We've seen them in Wild Rift before, but it's kind of wild that we're seeing them during the Wild Rift finals for SEA. And it's the secret strap we were referring to earlier, and it's already gone wrong, granted.
Strong start from SBTC to get first blood in the mid lane.
And this is the worry, right? You're running Lulu mid. She actually scales very well if you give her mid lane go. She does like a weird amount of damage. She's able, of course, to really amp up her teammates with that wild growth, which is really good on a team with Vayne. You're going to see this entire draft go around either the Vayne or the Graves, whichever finds more success for Team Secret. They're going to try and amp up into a late game solo carry, hit them with the wild growth, make them the entire team, essentially. But if either Chewy or Azar are in trouble, all the focus needs to go towards them. And if Tatsuri's behind on this Lulu that doesn't play very well in lane, frankly, that's going to be really hard to bail out Azar and Chewy on that Graves in Vayne.
And even then, we're starting to see some of that pressure on Trevor, who's had to back off, Tatsuri unable to provide and afford that same amount of pressure in the mid lane. And that's just really part of the strengths that the Ziggs kind of brings to the table, brings for the team. But I want to mention and highlight SBTC Esports. Look at the vision they have, TJ. Look at how deep it is within Team Secret's jungle. They have so much information as to the mechanics and the executions from Secret.
And Secret were doing the same on top. We had a little bit of a vertical jungle, meaning that map was split down the mid lane. And TF's back in mid.
Oh, beautiful kick to kick things off. Tatsuri gonna get the target of focus, but TF, he's gonna go down instead.
And here comes Trevor into Julie.
But you have to watch out for Minas. The Camille's coming in as well. He has the hook shot ready. He also has the extra ultimatum comes in. Beautiful tactical sweep to start things up, but unable to finish off the Nunu. Dives into the turret a little bit too late.
So Team Secret actually find a massive kill back over there in the mid lane with Tatsuri dropping the wild growth, that ultimate I was talking about, the Lulu having to save her teammates on herself. When Tatsuri wild growths himself there in the mid lane, he's able to stop himself from dying and bait TF into committing underneath the turret for a very big turnaround. There was also a pretty insane flash onto the honey fruit. The combination is one of the reasons why Tatsuri is the best mid laner in this tournament. And we're going to get a demonstration of what this team can do in team fights next, as Team Secret are going to be bringing their late game power towards these two objectives. We have the Drake down bottom, Rift Herald up top. SBTC quite badly want to go for a 5v5. I think Team Secret would be better served backing away, not engaging in a 5 versus 5 fight, and playing slow towards the late game.
I think worth mentioning here is, TJ, is that because of the engage from Minas and TF early on, they weren't able to grab their full item completed. Instead, Azar, he's ahead with these quick blades.
Yeah, and he's doing all right. Most of the damage on Team Secret is actually in Chewy, who's completed Blade of the Rune King. So expect him to do a decent amount here, but neither Chewy nor Azar are at their major item spikes for their character. So Team Secret are really lacking damage during the first kind of 10 minutes. And you can see how they're playing around that. Not challenging SBTC here, kind of letting SBT set the map pace. The problem is SBTC don't particularly want to do that. They really want to bait Team Secret into a fight. So they're not starting either of these objectives. They're just poking around to the mid, trying to get Team Secret to do something silly. Team Secret are grouping up, and that's why Kirol just got to take away a free turret flank down bottom.
And for a team that's supposed to be one of the most aggressive in the competition in the SEA Championships, SBTC has really afforded a lot of space for Secret to get into this early game.
Yeah, and we were kind of wondering whether or not SBTC's trademark aggression would be able to show up in the Grand Finals. I think this might be some nerves. We heard from their manager that SBTC players are aespa stans. So maybe, you know, they saw that, they were a little thrown off. And they are playing this quite slow, which could be disastrous into this.
Because it's Team Secret that found the initiative in the mid lane to get this first kill off. And it's SBTC slow to respond.
With a kill. Oh,
Coming back
dive
in now,
from
the
TF.
re-engage from TF. This is interesting to start. Chewy's gonna get the wild growth, boost him up. He has a lot of HP. They're going on to the Rift Tower. It's a 4 versus 5 over by the Rift Tower. But they're looking to regroup this quickly. You can't outsmite Treble. He finds the first. And well, there you have it. The Absolute Zero is gonna come across. Hex to automate them. Trades back for the jungler though.
2 kills for 1 at the end of the day. You see SBTC's lack of teamfight damage there. They can't really 5-on-5 or even 4v5 into the early game from SBTC. And this is a window for SBTC. They need to force their advantage here. They're going to take some turret plates. Ooh, an extra kill onto Azar up top. And they're very likely going to get that dragon. But I still, even in the face of all that... Ooh, hook found. Think that this is a win for Team Secret. Why? Because they stole away the Rift Herald, and it'll make it that much more difficult for SBTC to open up the early game. Without that Rift Herald, they can't burn down the mid turret as easily, and Team Secret have kind of booked their ticket into the late game where you expect Chewy, you expect Azar to be dominant on this Graves vein.
It's pairing together with the Ziggs, especially, that makes the Rift Herald so potent, so powerful. The fact that you can use that single charge, a couple of auto attacks, and the Satchel finish off the job, it's such an effective way to take down some of these most stubborn turrets. Now, Azar's going to be the one. You're going to use it towards the top side, but Rift Herald all the way back in base, so it's a slow build up towards this Baron lane.
Yeah, the Rift Herald, I don't know what's up with him. He's having a long day. And this is going to actually create a pretty disastrous opening. Look at this from SBTC.
They start again back onto Tatsuri, TF, the playmaker here. Now they convert this onto the dragon.
Team Secret have all of their resources up in the top lane, so SBTC just march through the bottom lane and say, that's fine. Your Rift Herald's not charging for another 6 hours. We're going to take the Drake, we're going to take a turret, we're going to take your mid laner, and they'll be able to hold against mid, and very likely against that tier 2 in the top side as well. You can see the full roam up from Minas. He's going to be there to catch this Rift Herald.
Yeah, good timing coming through, but it looks like the Rift Herald's going to charge either way. Minion wave wasn't there to block it. A little bit more gold in the pocket of the Secret, but you can see what's happened here so far, TJ. SBTC pull up a slight lead, but might not be enough against what Team Secret are looking for.
This mid turret's dead. It doesn't look it yet, but Julie will be able to... Yep, there it is. Julie will be able to blow it. And so SBTC are now on the front foot. They've got Team Secret backed away, about a 2k gold lead, and they've taken the mid turret, which is very important because it opens up the map for SBTC to control. But we've got kind of a slow game here for good reason, because Team Secret still have that power spike they're waiting for from Azar, from Chewy. They're going to start coming online once they hit their second item. You're seeing that now with the Wit's End complete, so Chewy's going to be really hurting people, and Azar is going full crit, so it'll probably take until about his third item, probably the Infinity Edge, before that Graves is absolutely destroying people in team fights. But that time is coming.
And then looking to make use of this time, jumping onto Hermes first, maybe looking to take down Chewy as collateral damage,
Chewy
but
does
Kino targeted
damage.
focus, gonna get hit back by the Condemn. It's a fight in the mid lane, and it's turning out for Secret as they chase after these kills.
There
It's
he
Chewy
is.
coming online big, the double 80 carry composition. Slightly different composition, slightly different way to approach it, but it still works out well.
And Chewy cleans up the team fight, doesn't even go down thanks to some heroic efforts from Hamas with the shield. He's able to eat the full focus of damage and walk away with a massive team fight win for Team Secret, evening up the gold lead and bringing the comeback kings back into this game 10 minutes after SBTC started with first blood.
Well, we can take a look back to what happened in the mid lane, and it starts off with a catch on the Hermes. You would think this is something good for them, but they expand a decent amount trying to take him down. And after that, well, I think Chewy just kind of cleans up the rest of the show.
Yeah, watch Hamas there. Shielding against the dive, saving Chewy at the very back of the fight. It's really fun brawn play in the middle of a very hectic team fight. And you see kind of the purpose of this Team Secret draft. They, yes, have those 2 double AD carries we're making this game about, but they also have 2 tanks and a very heavy support. Trevor and Hamas will kind of be the frontline body blockers, building space for Azar and Chewy. And if either of them get low, that's what Tatsuri's for, to drop the wild growth to keep them up as the focus drifts towards them. It's a really effective frontline composition for the scariest backline you could possibly draft.
And for the aggression that we're seeing from TF and the backline potential from Minas, it hasn't afforded well for SBTC. They've been unable to finish off these kills. It's this Lulu denying a lot of those engages, and the surprising tankiness that you see from the Graves and the kind of backline that you have from Hammez as well.
Yeah, and I'll say it, SBTC are past their easiest win condition. They're not out of this game, but it looks increasingly dire as Chewy, what is this?
Well, Culling comes across, they're looking to pursue this. Fortunately, the rest of Team Secret's going to be there. SBTC need to back off.
I don't think anyone was ready for that. SBTC could have had a free kill there, but they didn't expect Chewy to tumble forward into Kiral, who's still doing plenty of damage, mind you. He's 2-1 in the kill score, and he's got himself his first 2 major items, as well as the Executioner's Culling, which is going to be cutting what Chewy normally benefits from, that lifesteal. So as he's going through these fights, Chewy normally gets a decent amount of HP back. If he's fighting Kiral, that's not true. And Team Secret need to be very careful about that. These next couple of fights are also going to be where Julie comes online. He's presumably about to or has completed Rabadons. So this Dragon is SBTC's best chance of turning the game back in their favor.
But time and time again, they found the catch under Hammez, but it's unable to convert into more. It's been so tanky, it's so difficult to take him down. Well, here we have it. Trouble's coming in for Snowball first. Azar leads the charge, but it's a little bit far forward. They need some backup. They need the rest of the team here. Trouble comes in. The Glacial Fissure sets up for the absolute zero. Minas dives into the back, but he's gonna die in the back as well. Team Secret loses one, but trade back for another. Azar unable to finish the job. Chewy doing the best that he can. Tatsuri's blocking and building up a shield, but he will fall in the face of TF. SBTC find the fight they wanted around that dragon.
And there's Julie and Kiral thriving in the narrow choke point that Team Secret need to squeeze themselves through. And they know their window is small. SBTC know they must end this game quickly. And that's why you see this, an instant turn onto the Baron. Trevor's going to try and steal it away. And so SBTC, are they backing off?
They back off.
That's incredible! SBTC, threatened by the mere presence of Trevor on the map, don't feel confident enough to go for the Baron. They reset, send TF and Julie down for this Dragon, but I'm not even sure they can get this at this point. Watch Trevor!
You're right, TJ. It's too slow for either objective. They can't get the Baron and they go for the Dragon, but Trevor's here.
Trevor's here, now joined by the rest of his team, unlike they would have been around the Baron, so SBTC have to win another 5v5. They have to team fight here for the game.
They catch off Minas, the Condemned blocks the Camille, and TF set the flash over the wall.
And they lose the opportunity to team fight. The Dragon goes to Team Secret, and so SBTC have missed a critical part of their window. This was when they were at their strongest. They converted it into a team fight win brilliantly, but they did not follow up with either objective, and they throw away even the chance at a redo as Team Secret are just able to bully them off of the Dragon, bully them off of the Baron, with their aura, with their intimidating presence. I don't know what happened, Grandin.
If there's any team that's gonna make that miracle steal, it's Team Secret. We've seen what they've done. Azar's gone in there and stolen the Baron as a Fiora before. Now with this Nunu, oh, you can't run that risk.
And SBTC have now gotten into a very messy late game. We're actually seeing something I've never seen TF do before. This is going to be a tank Lee Sin. He's going all in because he's just going to get shredded if he doesn't build the Randuin's Omen. He's just going to get shredded by Chewy and Azar in these late game team fights. So he's pivoting to a tank Lee Sin. They're not going to have very much damage there. And all of the damage they do have is basically going to rest on Julie. Sure, Kiral will be here and he'll be a pretty major part of the team fight, but he's not going to compare to what Chewy and Azar can do now that they've completed third item. For Azar, it's actually Death's Dance third item. That's going to be terrifying.
Once again, they've gone on to a mess, but a lot committed to take down this Braum.
A good pick found, and that is the window for SBTC. If they can find these like individual pickoffs, that turns around a little bit of that scary team fight. And Arkano is going to be a huge part of that. He's on Thresh again. He's been incredible again. You can expect that from him at this point. Arkano's Thresh is just next level.
Oh, I see what
I did there. I'm pandering.
Absolutely. The Team Secret have been able to hold on to a pretty good defense, despite the fact that SBTC are running the Ziggs. And they've only lost these outer turrets so far. Aquino hasn't quite been the pick-off support they've been hoping for.
Yeah, Akino has found some really good hooks, but Team Secret are playing very aware of this. You'll notice that almost all the big hooks that Akino has found have been into James, as James is just so consistently there in the front line, not giving him access to anyone else. We have a duel of just two incredible supports, two incredible teams, obviously, but both these teams benefit so much from the presence of their supports. James, obviously, the team captain and shot caller for Team Secret as well.
Okay, well, teleport enchantment on Trevor makes him a bit squishier, TJ. Just saw that trade from Kiro. That's a full combo. Took him down 60-70% there.
And that's actually a worrying sign for Kiro, because he goes in there onto Trevor and you see him just unleash a full combo onto the Nunu and just not do very much damage. If you're able to full combo someone as the Lucian, you really want to kill them. And this is the other side to Team Secret's late game composition. Yes, they're going to get really scary damage dealers, but also those tanks get real big. And if you can't get through the front line, the damage that the backline can offer is almost amplified, doubled by how much time they're going to have to deal it.
Watch out for what Minas is trying to do here, though, TJ. Minas has gone into the side lane, building up a wave to play for. As the Elder Drake's going to spawn in 20 seconds. Team Secret positioning around this as well.
James leading in alongside Trevor, the two tanks setting up for the fight.
Glacier Fisher sends Aquino up into the sky. Unfortunately, unable to finish him off. You have to watch out for TF. Minas jumps in now with the tactical sweep, trying to clear something up. They manage to block Trevor's ultimate. Jumping back in with the Hextech ultimatum. Minas is still alive at this point. Tatsuri's alive as well. Chewy needs to bring up the damage. Azar's gonna fill in that role. He's gone golden, and they can't take him down just yet. But Julie's still free hitting. He still has the opportunity to offload damage, but he has to be careful.
Only two players die in a full 5v5 in the River, Grandin. And SBTC, with their gold lead, managed to hold strong right here around this Elder Ocean Drake. SBTC stole up the game and trade their support for Tatsuri. Akino goes down, yes, but he does so heroically, cancelling Trevor's ultimate, separating Tatsuri for the team. And it's up to Azur to dive through the front lines and even find that equalization. Both teams are low, neither team has anyone who can chase, and so they back off, reset. We're gonna go for round two, Cranston. We're gonna get a second 5v5 for these two objectives, the Elder and the Baron. If SBTC win this fight, they can take the Baron, they can end the game instantly. At this point in time, Team Secret might need two fights. They're far enough behind in turrets, they'll need to win probably two team fights to turn the game.
They have this expressway into the mid lane, TJ. SBTC Esports paired together the Ziggs. This Baron is massive, while Minas has found a tower in the bomb side as well.
Yeah.
Team Secret need to make a decision.
Who are they trading? You can't do this, SBTC. They're just gonna get the Elder. That's massive. So Team Secret are gambling on their late game potential. Team Secret are gambling on the fact that the raw damage of their composition is going to equalize the fact that SBTC have just gotten the Elder, which is a permanent damage buff. Minas is not going to get this back inhibitor, and so maybe it is possible. Team Secret need to do damage, though, with this Baron. They need to equalize the gold lead so that their composition can equalize the Baron buff, the Elder buff, sorry.
Much of the wave clear that SBTC have as well, it's going to be on Julie. It's going to be this match damage, and well, now with this Baron buff, it's going to be a bit more difficult for SBTC to stop these waves from crashing again. If Team Secret are able to find some turrets in this time, TG, they could close the goal cap, maybe even pull ahead. That's maybe what they're looking to try and get done.
Poking in through the middle of the map here, with Team Secret already driving us to these late game heroics that we expected from them. I thought it was going to take until game 7 before we had the comeback storyline, but Team Secret have already done it once, fighting their way back into this game, and they're going to need to do it again as SBTC have ground out a massive advantage with that Ocean Elder Drake.
They've managed to break open that inner turret in the Baron lane. Mina's having a difficult time dealing with Azan. No Guardian Angel for this Camille, so he cannot really dive in deep. We need to be careful about this.
Azar hurts. Team Secret, if they get this inhib, that's pretty massive. So the Mega Inferno Bomb gets spent defensively by Julie. That's a big team fight ultimate, just used to cull that wave The thing I challenged Team Secret to do, though, with this Baron buff was to equalize the gold at the top of the screen. They brought it closer. They have not tied it up. Here we go.
They're bringing in the next wave. They're jumping onto Hermes. They want to stop this inhibitor from going down, but it won't be able to do so. Hermes looking low now. They just need a little bit more damage to jump into the back with Minas, unable to finish him off, while Grow keeps him alive. And SBTC need to worry about Treble, who's running it back with the snowball. But look at the damage from Julie.
And that wild growth on such a short cooldown now. Tatsuri able to keep people alive during that team fight. Team Secret able to open up the SBTC base with that inhibitor. Of course, that inhibitor turret, the very last turret being broken, means that super minions are going to be pouring down that top lane, keeping SBTC pinned inside their base for the rest of this game as they struggle to deal with these really aggressive minions that will push that side lane constantly, demanding SBTC's attention.
They've looked to trade sides here. SBTC Esports making their way back down into the Dragon lane, but now you have to apply resources to deal with this mid lane as well. TF's gonna have to back off. That outer tier turret finally falls.
Finally, and Team Secret are delivering on the promise. I can't believe the gamble they went for, ignoring an Elder Ocean Drake because they believed their composition was strong enough to overpower it. And the wildest part of it, Grandin, is I think they might have been right. I think that might have been one of the most heads-up shot calls we've seen all tournament, maybe in the history of Wild Rift, as they've gone even in these team fights so far. Azur's doing so much damage in this late game, but that Infinity Edge I called for finally completed his 4th item. He's just absolutely shredding people, as you saw versus Minas in the top lane.
But the Baron coming up soon. It's SBTC Esports likely looking to try and pick this objective up. If not, force Team Secret to get into them.
Which is why Minas is pushing in this top lane. You can see Minas fighting against these super minions, trying to get that wave as pushed forward as possible. And Team Secret are going to punish that.
They've let the fight. Akino's going to go down first. They've lost the support. And Hermes still running in. Treble as well. The ultimate absolute zero coming across. Damage coming in from Minas, moving into the back. Unable to take down Chewy. He's still alive. And Azar's here as well. You have to worry about these 2 big damage sources. Julie's coming back in, trying to offload some damage. But Hermes with the Unbreakable stops it all.
Minas and Arkano dead, a player advantage for Team Secret for the next 40 seconds. Can they turn that into a game-ending Baron?
And Hermes has been such a massive playmaker in a lot of these moments. Akino unable to match the pressure from Hermes here. Well, Team Secret, they're looking at the second Baron, TJ.
TF still alive, the Lee Sin, the best jungler in the world. Can he steal this Baron?
They're trying to zone him off. They're going to kick them away. Chewy's going low. Julie's still hitting them with some damage. Baron down to 3,000. TS right there. He's trying to jump in. Will not be able to get it, but 2 have fallen on the side of Secret. Flashing away. TF and Kiro chasing after. They just need a little bit more. The Lucian comes across with a Kali in the brush. Tatsuri needs to back off. The Glacial Fissure will stop the Kali from coming across. They're looking to take down the Lucian. Kiro's gone into stasis. They're looking to take down TF as well. He won't be able to finish them off. Julie's running in now. The Guardian Angel will be gone. They can't finish him off. Julie misses out the bombs. He's gone golden. Akino coming in. Death sentence misses. And Julie will fall. Chewy's still alive. He's taken down 3. Looking for a 4th. They've gone on the dredge. They're chasing me after the river. And it's a quadra kill for Chewy in game number 1.
The Comeback Kings turn around the game. Team Secret step back up, and through their late game, through Chewy, they save everything in game number 1. Now Chewy himself is going to march forward to try and complete a pentakill by taking out the Nexus, by taking out Minas.
And double teleports coming in from Team Secret. They're moving in quick. It's just down to Minas. Then comes a cross hook shot as well. But Team Secret will find the game number 1 win.
What an incredible start.
And I wonder how SBTC is gonna try and work around this.
Yeah, and I have so many questions which I think SBTC needs to answer. I'm lucky my job here is just to talk about it. This is the team that actually has to find the answer. Are you gonna remove any of the components that made the Lulu Vayne comp work? Are you gonna remove Nunu? It seems like SBTC are saying no. They're saying, we don't care. Okay, there we go. They removed the Braum. So that's a big factor in keeping Chewy safe. Without the Braum, it might be a lot easier to get on top of him if he plays a hyper carry yet again. And we are going for the run back with the Camille. Minas, I want to point out really quickly that prior to that game, this man has had 100% win rate in playoffs. Minas has not lost a game in the entire playoffs prior to that game 1. Now he's going to run it back on the Camille. A lot of pressure is going to be on him.
Yeah, and I think that's just, you mentioned a lot of pressure. Now that he has tasted the first defeat, especially that is one of the first instances where we've seen Minas being drafted immediately in a series in game number 1. So now Team Secret getting this Ziggs possibly towards Chewy. Remember, Team Secret also can play mage bot laner setups, which we've seen even during the summer season.
Yeah, that's a possible option here for Team Secret, but once again, SBTC, they are drafting what looks like their Exodia. Team Secret, they found the answer to this in Game 1. Now the thing is, can they answer it again in Game 2? With the Braum removed, you're not going to be able to stop the dives as easily. So if TF gets on your backline, if Minas gets on your backline, what are you to do here for Team Secret? I will love the Irelia pickup here because it just threatens the Varus immensely, and it's a very high skill matchup in the Baron lane against Camille. So if we do see Irelia Camille, all eyes will be on that matchup.
Yeah, I think it's going to be insane. I wonder if that's going to be Irelia in the mid lane as well. I think it's a very huge possibility. And with that as well, you mentioned the big dive. So this is going to be Assassins as the Kazakhs being locked in for Trevor.
Yep.
Twisted Fate just for that anti-assassin. I think that's a double meaning, double thing that you can do. Pressure the side lanes and as well as spot out where Trevor is going to be on this Kazakhs.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing a bit of a repeat of Game 1 in terms of what these two team compositions want to do. Team Secret, they're going all in for the team fight. Yet again, 5v5. Ziggs is going to poke you. He's going to throw the bombs on you. Irelia is going to find an angle, come in with the flawless duet. He's going to clean it up with Galio on top of him with the Kazakhs jumping around and the Zed to round it off. They are just looking to clean up these team fights, while SBTC, a lot of pressure is going to be on them to impact the side lanes. TF, Lee Sin, they need to go over to the side lane, enable Camille, enable Minas to just end the game in the side lanes.
Yeah, I'm curious how TF is going to work around this because the dynamic has shifted. You know, Chewy is not going to be on that hyper scaling AD carry anymore. He's more on that AP carry role. And when it comes to at least backline access, they do have maybe TF setting for a cheeky flank, maybe around the Raptors, getting a really cool kick, or, you know, the Hextech ultimatum coming from Minas. But I love this so much. You know, when I look at Team Secret's composition, you know, it spells 1-3-1, but at the same time, no, you know that they want to fight 5v5.
Yeah,
They're going to do it well.
Getting into game 2, again, another very ambitious draft from Team Secret. And as for SBTC Esports, are they going to rely on their mechanics to make them to get them through this? We're going to find out as we get into game 2. Casters, over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Mika. We're going into game number 2, and Team Secret, while they've taken the lead, they've gone 1-0 up over SBTC Esports, and TJ, Team Secret, they're running it back with another interesting composition here.
Yeah, a wild pivot here as SBTC pull out a composition we've seen a fair amount over the tournament, which is, of course, the pick composition. Brandon, I don't know if we have a name yet for what Team Secret are running. I'm going to say it's the Assassin comp. The way the pick composition that SBTC are running works is you throw out a gold card and you follow it up with just a chain of stuns. Oftentimes you'll see this with a Nami in the support role, but it works just as well with Thresh. So Julie's gold card stun will come out from the Twisted Fate, and you'll follow it up with Chain of Corruption from Kirill, you'll follow up with the Death Sentence from Argano, and you just guarantee a pretty easy kill. The problem is, Team Secret made a mid-draft kind of flex and went full Assassin, which is a pretty decent counter to that CC-reliant combo, because it relies on being able to land those stuns on single targets. And if Team Secret have 2-3 members that are coming out of bushes, too close to handle, too hot to handle, then it's going to be very hard for SBTC to kind of manage that aggression, especially because they have a very lightweight front line. So a lot of this game depends on where their stuns go. A lot of this game depends on Arcano in particular.
And it's interesting that you've mentioned that because Aquino's back on this Thresh again, whereas Hermes, well, the Braum was banned out, so he's gone over to the Galio instead. Very different dynamic here, DJ.
Yeah, and I actually really like Hermes getting the Galio. You could see Team Secret had to first pick it, though, because, first of all, Galio is a very good flex pick. They can play it on Tatsuri as well. But second of all, they kind of are scraping at the bottom of the barrel of the Hermes pool. They banned out the Gragas, the other team banned out the Braum. It got kind of scary, I feel, for Team Secret, and they had to grab something that Hermes could play well very early on the draft. So we'll see if SBTC continue to maybe exploit that and force Team Secret to draft Galio early.
I mean, there's a running bet here going on, right, TJ, between the Alice to see how many assists these supports are able to get. So, I mean, Hermes just needs to step it up here a little bit here.
I mean, it's a good pick. Galio is a good support, right? The problem is, the reason I kind of highlight it, is that SBTC got Twisted Fate and Julie's Twisted Fate and TF's Lee Sin and Minus's Camille during that first cycle in response, which is an insanely stacked first cycle. You should never be able to get those 3 characters in your first rotation.
Well, we'll see how well they're able to play this one through, because now Minus has actually switched back to the barrier. Last game he had Ignite was a much more aggressive Camille, trying to dive into the back and take down the double 80 carry composition that he had. Now he's going for a safer approach with this barrier and with aggressing and dying.
Yeah, and that makes sense because I'm keeping an eye on Trevor here, but I don't think he can do anything. The thing that you're kind of looking for Team Secret, if you're going, how do I know whether or not Team Secret are going to achieve anything this game? Is you want to see Team Secret get an early gold advantage onto one of their assassins. And they have 3 of them. That's Tatsuri, Trevor, and Azur, respectively. And if any of those characters can start with a little bit of what we call a snowball rolling downhill, a little bit of a gold advantage, that will turn them into really terrifying late-game monsters.
This might be the start. He's looking to take down Julia, diving on the turret. Tatsuri unable to finish off the kill.
A tragedy. Julie lives on maybe 1 HP, and that's why you buy that barrier. That was about a barrier's worth of HP that Julie survived on.
Oh, absolutely. TF is trying to maybe get a repeat gank. He's unable to finish it off. He was going to go to the mid lane now, though.
Yeah, so SBTC have a really good team fight composition, right? I talked about these picks. It's not even team fighting. It's more what I call skirmishes, where it's about these like 3-on-3 groups. And as long as they can maintain that order and fight in these 3-on-3 squads, they're pretty favored, which makes these early fights very important, because this is where SBTC are strongest, where SBTC want to get an advantage, knock down Tatsuri, Trevor, and Azur before they can get rolling.
Well, they've picked up the dragon now. SBTC running over to the Rift Tower quickly. They have to back away from this. Aquino's here, looking for something maybe to get the Hextech ultimatum off. They jump onto Hermes first. Chance of Corruption come across, and so a good amount of damage on the Garen to take him down first with the exhaust. Landed onto Azar. This assassin doesn't have damage to the exhaust.
And that's exactly what SBTC wanted. You could see it there. Gold card, Chains of Corruption. The box is dropped by Arkano, his ultimate. There's just nothing you can do if you're playing into that. If you get hit by all of those stuns, one after each other, you're just dead. And Team Secret don't yet have the damage to delete the backline.
Oh no!
You need to get it, Tatsuri! Okay.
Oh. That was intense.
He didn't have smite, Grandin. They thought he had smite, but Trevor didn't have smite, so he couldn't execute the final few seconds of it.
That was intense. Well, we'll call that a fast recall, TJ. He's respawned. He's back out on base now. He's grabbed himself the Dust Blade. It's about the same amount of time, but he's making sure that Tatsuri has a fast recall too. Now, we're looking at these lane allocations, TJ, because it's become interesting. They've allocated a bunch to the bomb side. Tatsuri's going to be dead in match as well. And those early dragon fights, those pivotal moments that you were talking about, well, SBTC seemed to have kind of cheated the system by avoiding that entirely.
Yeah, they did get a pick. They did grab Hamas, but you want SBTC to get a little bit more than that. And they were so scared after the first couple of moments where they were dropped low that they just backed away from the Rift Herald entirely, gave that to Team Secret, which is, I think, the sensible call, because the last thing you want to do into Team Secret's composition is take a team fight while low HP. But they do want to take these 3v3 skirmishes, and you see them positioning for exactly that here.
Well, SBTC on a somewhat disadvantage, so a little bit difficult to commit to that. Minus doing very well in this lane against Azar, looking to take him down. Techno Streak comes across, and a solo kill for Minus.
And you see that Hextech ultimatum, the big flashy ultimate, timed perfectly to dodge the damage from the first turret shot. A really good engage, a really well played 1v1 by Minus, the player that we were hyping up so much coming into this game. He's one of the best top laners in the world, and that's why.
Interesting catch on the Hermes. Doesn't seem like he knew they were there.
He's dead.
It's caught off quickly.
And here you go. The skirmishes that SBTC want kind of coming true for them. Chewy in trouble as well.
They're back in the mid lane. TF looking to commit for this kill. A couple more auto attacks finds him. and gets out the safeguard as well, but not without Tatsuri having something to say about it, but he's also dead. A double kill for SBTC.
This is perfect for SBTC. They get everything they want. Those individual kills, people walking into their stun chains and just being melted, taken apart by stun after stun after stun. And now they've got 5 kills to 0 and a several thousand gold lead at the 7-minute mark, having taken down that entire top side of the map I was talking up. Azur and Tatsuri both died. Trevor died to the Rift Herald, so I suppose that doesn't count, but he still wasn't farming for that time, which means they don't have the gold leads they need to be scary late-game assassins.
Team Secret plumping up here, trying to find someone from SBTC, overstepping their bounds, but look at that TF, he's so smart about it. No vision, but he makes sure that he doesn't overextend it anyway and gets some knowledge of where Tatsuri's gonna be.
And this feels like Team Secret's composition has really hit a wall. They're going to throw this Rift Herald up into the top lane, Tatsuri needing to deploy it. And the reason they do this is because it will guarantee the turret just by virtue of how low that turret itself is. And because Tatsuri dropped it, he's going to get the gold. So they're trying to repair exactly what I was setting up. They're trying to give Tatsuri enough gold to be a viable threat during these next team fights, during this fight for this dragon, because they need to snowball Tatsuri. They need to get him ahead. If he can't one-shot people, they can't win.
Well, Minas, he's picked up the teleport, so he needs to join in quickly. TF over on the other side, so he's buying some time for the rest of his team to come in. TF the target of focus for Tatsuri, but it's gone golden, but he has to watch out for Treble. Flashes away, and SBTC have gotten control around the dragon. And Team Secret, they're backing off now. They're looking for a window back in, but you're worried about the chains of corruption, the gold card, all the crowd control layer through. Hamas the one to lead things for the Vanguard Satch on the 3 in the pit, and Azar's coming on big, looking to take down Minas, with the Hextech ultimatum still there. They flash over the wall, and none from SBTC will fall.
They just back away, Grandin. They just walk away from Team Secret's engage. And now they can go back in, knowing these health bars are low, knowing these cooldowns are spent.
They're on the pursuit, SBTC. They're looking for more here. Minas is going down to the bottom side, looking for his turret as well, TJ.
This is a masterclass from SBTC. The reason people don't run full damage, full assassin compositions like Team Secret have pulled out this game is because it is a massive ego check. It is a promise to the viewer that you will have a 2,000 gold lead by the 10-minute mark. Team Secret do not generate that. SBTC shut it down with surgical precision, not giving Team Secret opportunities during the early game, and then showing up at the Twisted Fate power spike when Lee Sin's still viable during the mid-game to pick up kill after kill after kill and turn those into clean objective takes. It is SBTC's game to lose. They are in total control.
And I have to highlight this as well, TJ. Look at the itemization, the boots items from SBTC. Look at those hourglasses. They started off with 3. And this is so important because TF was a target for Tatsuri there, but he couldn't kill him quickly enough.
Yeah, I expect to see a lot more of that going around whenever you run an assassin composition. And it's a little bit of a tax because maybe you want something else in that final slot, but given the composition you're playing into, if you can stasis through engage, you're providing massive value.
Yeah, no choice afforded for them there, so they have to make that little bit of a move for the items. A bit of a tax. Looking towards SBTC now. Drawing some of my attention. I think Team Secrets as well. Because they've gone up to the top side, looking to pick up this turret. And you see how much time they have to waste backing off.
You see how much damage they do there without putting themselves at risk at all. And it's like not a huge amount of damage, but the fact that they can do that much, they can do, you know, quarters of people's health bars without taking any risks whatsoever. TF does get a little bit frisky there. But that was kind of the first time any player was within striking distance for Team Secret. SBTC just able to kind of tap on the glass outside, and it's working really effectively for them. I love how they're playing into this composition.
And it's a canvas that SBTC are playing on. And all the broad strokes that they're making, all the moves that they're making, while it's creating a beautiful painting. Team Secret, I think they're kind of awestruck here, TJ. Appreciating the painting, unable to keep up the tempo that SBTC has been generating. It's a different situation from what we've seen in the first game.
great art does that to you. And a lot of people don't realize that till you see art in a gallery, because you see like photos of art. And you're like, yeah, whatever. And then you go into a gallery and they have these big canvases stretched across entire walls, and you're like, oh, I get it. And that's kind of, that's the Team Secret feeling right now. They've walked into the gallery and they've gone, oh man, SBTC are one of the best teams in the world, if not the best team at specifically this, generating leads during the early game.
So it's critical here for SBTC to finish the game strong, make use of the lead they built up for themselves. While Hamas is walking into Aquino now. Team Secret might have overextended, but a teleport's coming across. Chewy's offloading some good damage with the Ziggs Mega Inferno Bomb, unable to finish off the first kill. The Vanguard's Edge comes across. Goldcon locked and loaded, jumping onto Azar now with the heroic entrance coming in as well. Hamas trying to take them down. Julie flashes the wall into the Baron Pit. Will surely fall if Azar's there to finish him off, but he isn't. He turns back. He's gone on to Minas, but he's lost his life, and Hamas will fall as well. And is still jumping back in with TF, finishing off the third.
That might be the best played team fight I've ever seen. SBTC juggle the aggression perfectly. Nobody dies. They stay grouped together. Team Secret finally force a split, and Julie is able to flash stasis over the wall and survive it all. SBTC get the Baron. SBTC keep control of the game, and they're looking to absolutely wipe the floor with Team Secret in game number 2.
And Tatsuri, he was right around the corner along with Chewy there. Minas blocks them off, and oh my goodness, we gotta watch this again, TJ. What a start to this fight. It just goes on to Hermes.
Yeah, so this is good bait from Team Secret. They're trying to see if they can force some chaos with Hamas' engage. He's so tanky that this works really well, and Azar finds a good Vanguard's edge. But look at the immediate turn. Julie just waving that gold card like a football referee, and it forces them to back away. It forces Azar to reset. He chases on Julie. Julie flashes over the wall and instantly has so much backup, there's no way to finish those kills, and he's just vastly overextended and collapsed upon. Beautifully played by SBTC.
And SBTC at critical mass. They're looking to take down Hamas here. He's still very tanky. Buys a lot of time for Team Secret, but he will ultimately fall. Now they're looking for a second. The Vanguard's Edge, the final stand from Team Secret, here to make something happen. But Azar, the second casualty, with Tatsui following as the third. And SBTC, well, they just found a beautiful team fight, TJ.
And here they come, looking for this game, looking to tie up the series, effectively make this best of 7 a best of 5. As they march in towards the Nexus, and there is nothing Team Secret can do. It's the second time they drafted an out-of-left-field experimental composition, and the first time it did absolutely nothing when it was put to the test.
In SBTC, they'll be content with the 2 inhibitor turrets. But they're gonna back off for now. Baron's still available, but it's gonna expire soon. And so not looking to fight and coin flip in that final 5v5 team fight.
And you cannot, this is reinforcing for me, you cannot give SBTC Camille, Lee Sin, Twisted Fate in a single cycle of the pick ban, because this is just their ideal draft. This is just SBTC's bread and butter, what they want to do every single game they can.
I'm not sure if that expression works as well here, TJ. I feel like this is more like their rice noodles.
Sure, I kind of stuttered on it because I was like, there's got to be a better phrase for this.
Sure.
And I was just like, I don't know, I'm halfway here. I made the B sound. I'll say bread and butter. Yeah, I'm with you.
And
I'm
SBTC,
English. We like buttering our bread. You know how it is.
Sure, I'll take it. By all means, and SBTC, well, they've made use of this very well. Putting the pressure onto Team Secret, looking to close this one now, and Team Secret, they're making a final stand once again. How many final stands can you make, TJ? More Team Secret are looking to prove to us that they can make more as this Miracle team.
I think this is the last one. This is the end of final stands, at least for game 2.
Well, you're gonna call it here early, TJ. Chewy's still gonna look for some damage back, but difficult to take them down. They have that Omni Vamp, and so they heal up quite a bit here.
Yeah, Team Secret still don't have any damage though, and you can see that like the full engage here isn't gonna hurt SBTC.
They flash in quick, looking to take them down. The hero entrance there to back them up. The big AP shield, not enough though. Azar will fall. Tatsuri goes down as well. Chewy comes back out of stasis just to die at the hands of Julie. And Team Secret are dropping this game. It's SBTC Esports that build things up, that equalize the scoreline 1-1 after 2 games.
Absolutely incredible as a start to the series. Team Secret run game 1 with their ideal draft, late game chaos.
difficult spot to be in to try to mentally come back from a game like that, game 2, where they, to be perfectly honest, to put it in frank terms, they got demolished by SBTC. But if any team can do it, it is Team Secret. I feel like they've one of the strongest mentals here and the best abilities to come back. So no side changes. I'm quite curious to see what we'll see changed up in draft right from the get-go. Camille, Minas, you're not getting that anymore.
Yeah, 100%. But the Kaisa is now open for the taking,
True.
so I'm not going to be surprised if Team Secret shifts dynamics. You know, game number 1, Chewy was the one that was able to shine through. They built around Chewy, so possibly we could see this again as the Galio could go towards Tatsuri first or towards James, depending on what SBTC wants to do.
And there you go, locking in the Kaisa, potentially for Chewy. I'm just saying potentially because like it's Team Secret. I don't know what they have planned. I mean, we're gonna find out as they lock in their next picks. But right now, Renekton coming in for
Okay.
SBTC.
And we're going...
Holy Sin!
Okay,
never mind.
they're not going for the Lee Sin. That's a bit curious to me, right? I do agree Lee Sin might be higher priority here. I don't really feel like Trash is something which you need to snatch, but they probably feel the same way about Lee Sin. And look, we've talked about so many carry Baron laner picks that we kind of forgot about this Renekton, and he's kind of slipped under the radar a little bit recently in favor of Riven, Darius. But don't forget how dominant this champion was in the play-ins early on in the group stages as well. And Minas is bringing us a bit of a throwback. This matchup in the Baron lane against Riven, it's highly favorable as well. It's going to be a tall order for Azar to really try to stabilize his lane. Don't forget, he got solo killed last game as well. So SBTC, I really like the comp they've had built up so far.
Yeah, they've got the Nunu to be that big, chunky frontliner for the side of SBTC, and curious to see what the carry is going to be to enable this, and it's going to be a double poke composition from SBTC. So Team Secret, your backline access, you do have that hero's entrance, and as well as the Diana could be that answer to set up for the Moonfall as well, and a lot of dives coming from Team Secret.
Okay, it's the same thing once again, right? Deferring goals in their team composition. Now SBTC, what I feel like we see from them, like you mentioned, Riku, double poke, really strong here. But they also have the ability to play towards the side lanes, to play towards the Renekton. If he gets a lead here, we could very well see Nunu just constantly rolling snowball into the side lane, while Ezra and Ziggs just wave clear, while Team Secret, yet again, they're running a very standard 5v5 team composition. They want front and back, they want to get on you, they want to kill you in team fights, which fits their miracle team fight identity.
Yeah, I think that is the thing, right? SBTC just knows that they don't want to reach the 5v5 phase, and basically they just need to dismantle the early game up against Team Secret. So yeah, it does check out, and we'll see whether or not Team Secret survives. They're kind of used to losing towards the laning phase now, so we'll see how they can slow it down.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Team Secret, again, we keep naming them as the team that you cannot count out, especially since, you know, this team has definitely pulled out some miracle team fights, some impossible things that we have seen so far in the Icon series, in the C Championships as well. But we are now going into Game 3 with SBTC Esports versus Team Secret. Casters, you guys are up.
You're absolutely right, Mika. You cannot count out Team Secret. And guess where they are? They're in game number 3 of the grand finals of the C Championship, TJ, and they're bringing back the skill check.
Where am I?
You're in the grand finals!
Oh, all right. Game 3 does come down to two very similar looking compositions, granted. I think we're in for a banger. This is SBTC and Team Secret both opting into the team fights. SBTC go very tank heavy, so all of their damage kind of revolves around Julie and Kiral. But what else is new?
What else is new? This is the way they play. This is what they're looking to get done. And well, you know, off to an interesting start already. Look at his bot side. Look at the aggression coming across from both ends. Aquino's going to face off against the Ignite to come back in with the heal. Kiral, it's going to be a late game monster if they let him.
Yeah. And that is one of the things that actually frankly worries me about this SBTC composition, is they have opted into the Team Secret zone. There's like, it's like that Twilight Zone, which you go past 15 minutes, nothing makes sense anymore if you're playing Team Secret. Once you go past 15 minutes in a Wild Rift game and you're playing Team Secret, anything and everything will happen. So the fact that SBTC have drafted kind of a later game team fighting composition is a little dangerous, frankly.
Playing into what Team Secret do best, but also drafting for some early game skirmish power. You have stuff like this Renekton, you have stuff like this Nunu. And those are things to watch out for while they're trying to jump on the Julie. Now it's a lot of damage coming across. Flash away with the barrier. Luna charge. Tatsuri with
He's
first
dead.
blood.
He
And he's
lives.
escaping, TJ.
He lives! And TF's hunting for him. Tatsuri, can you get through this with the minion wave? Maybe.
They're collapsing. They're coming in now. Venus chasing after Treble, but Hermes is right around the corner. He's here to join into the fight. Look at take him down first. Tatsuri's coming in, but they found the pick off, taking down Chewy. And the next to fall will be Tatsuri, but he brings Venus down with him. Flash for Flash. Kiro's chasing after this last kill onto Hermes. It's 3 over to SBTC.
A massive early game team fight. Found his Tatsuri goes a little too hard down the mid lane, and then they feel the need to team fight in order to save him, when frankly they should have just taken the odds on the recall. Worst case, TF finds him and it's a 1-1 trade. This case is far worse for Team Secret, as this team fighting composition, this mid-game power that they have, is going to be delayed by a couple of minutes, not by long, and they can undo that damage with a good team fight, but they've lost about 1,000 gold lead from that exchange.
And a lot of that gold has gone down to the bottom side, split between Kiro and Aquino. While looking to be those playmakers, you can accelerate Kiro faster. On SBTC, that late game damage is going to come so much quicker as well. As being so annoying, wins the war, making sure that Kiro doesn't get a quick recall off.
And if you've heard any like tooting sounds over the course of the tournament, that's my bad. That was my own horn, and I was really tooting it because I'm really excited by Ezreal. I think Ezreal is one of the most undervalued characters in Wild Rift right now. He does a ton of really strong early game lane damage, as you've been seeing, and then he scales into a devastating mid and late game team fight. So Kirill's pulled this out once earlier during this tournament. Here he selects for it quite often into the Kai'Sa. And I think you can expect Kirill to absolutely tear up, particularly during that kind of 10 to 15 minute mark, once this Muramana that he's built has completed.
Look at that, TJ. You're out here tooting your own horn, setting up for your own points. Like Kiro, he doesn't have to do this alone. He has the rest of his team out here playing for him. You have this Nunu and you have this Thresh. We're looking out to Minas though, and this looks like a pretty easy pickup for Team Secret. Za is that big point of power for this team.
Oh, Kirill, though?
They're taking him down as well. Nice pickup. I'm not sure why I was there alone.
He wasn't. There was TF in the area. The dragon. That's not very subtle, TF.
Well, where's he gone? They're looking to take down Tatsuri here. Have to worry about a heroic entrance. The snowball not going to find all too much. They have to flash away. Jumping back in. TF with the absolute zero. The exhaust was slow. Another couple water attacks. But he's taught that he can't finish off the kill. Tatsuri jumps back in with the Lunar Rush. A little bit more damage is all they need. Both sides so close to taking each other down.
Really well played again by Hamas, who was one of the stars of game number 1. He steps up to the plate, the team leader, the team captain, and saves the day down bottom. The reason Team Secret have drifted a little bit away, or the reason SBTC, sorry, had drifted a little bit away from Kirill in that bottom lane was because they were beginning to set up for this dragon. They were taking that Rift Crab, the Rift Scuttler right there, and Kirill, he wasn't left alone by much. He still had Flash, he still had Arcane Shift, he should have been fine. But Tatsuri just launched a really good combo, and they full CC'd him, got the gold onto their own mid laner, took down Kirill a peg. It was a really well-executed play by Team Secret, and they get away without losing anybody, which is going to stabilize this gold again. And I believe, as the turrets fall, they're going to have a slight lead.
Yeah, Team Secret able to collect a decent amount of gold. A big chunk of that on Tatsuri. 3-1 now, 5,000 in his back pocket. The Rod of Ages scaling up quickly, as well as some decent amount of gold for Chu as well to complete the Captain Rain upgrade.
There it is. The turret take up top, a trade 1-for-1 across the map. Exposes that Team Secret had the lead out of that little play they made down bottom. It's now spun in their favor by about 1,000, which isn't a particularly great advantage. Having 1,000 gold is good, but again, this entire game depends on the late game team fights, so the advantage you should pay attention to is where the gold is going. But right now, Tatsuri is pretty big.
Where the gold is going seems to be the top side, because that's where both teams are positioning to right now. Za's going to be a little bit closer to the rest of the team, with Minas trailing behind him.
Okay, and won't find a knockup. SBTC are really spoiling for a fight right now. They're really looking for just action because they think they win it. And that's kind of interesting to me because I would not have made that prediction. Tatsuri is so far ahead right now. Tatsuri has a pretty massive gold advantage over Julie, and that's going to enable Team Secret to really get past the tanks in the front line, to really get past TF and Minas and engage directly onto Julie and Kirol. So I would be very worried if I were SBTC, and it's strange to me that they want to fight.
Yeah, Minas still has his summoner spells, still has that barrier, and still had his ultimate. Didn't commit it there. It's interesting. Looks like he was prepared to die there, not expend too much so they can reset for this next fight.
Yeah, the big thing there, the reason, like, you see Minas flash but not burn ult or anything, I think the flash was late in the game, and I think he was just blown up by Azur, who full committed, used the ulti to finish the kill after he'd flashed away. Surprising range on Riven. Here's the Rift Herald summoned. This is set up for cross-map play because SBTC need to coalesce in the mid lane to defend against the Rift Herald charge. Team Secret get to split across the map. You see that pressure coming in the form of a minion wave crashing up top, and a minion wave being escorted under tower down bottom. The net gain is pretty good for them. You can see that gold lead continuing to grow, now hovering near 2,000 gold.
And while we've continued to see a similar draft principle for SBTC Esports, it seems that Team Secret have, across three games, played three different unique kind of ideas and styles. And while the second one seemed more reminiscent of what we've expected, well, they've just been bringing something different every single time.
Oh, good hook. Nothing comes of it. You see that taunt used by Hamas? Just to deny if you want to engage off of that. If Arkano had recast the death sentence and gone in on the hook, he would have instantly been taunted. I want to flag what you were talking about, though, Grandon, which is these three different compositions. Because, yeah, Team Secret are an incredibly smart team, and they're known for this kind of experimentation. They're known as a team that is willing to take risks and try new things. So, seeing that come out here during the grand finals with their first two games both being wildly different, kind of off-meta compositions, is really delightful. And I'm excited to see, of course, both these teams are going to the Horizon Cup. I want to see more of this from Team Secret on the international stage.
Well, it's been difficult for SBTC to punish Team Secret here. But moving towards this dragon, and this could be a big one, TJ.
This is a big fight. SBTC want to regain the advantage.
Okay, Hamas starts it off. It's a big taunt coming across, but he doesn't have the damage nor the follow-up to finish it off. Tatsuri's coming in big now with the Moonfall. They've taken down TF. It's a bad trade for SBTC, but they're looking low. Taking down Team Secret. Kirill's come online. This is the damage monster who's flashing forward aggressively onto Trevor for that double kill.
And there it is, around the 10-minute mark. Kirol comes online, and you see the power, the mobility of an Ezreal, and the damage with that completed Muramana in his main slot. He's able to dance through this team fight, and yes, the early phase of that team fight is defined by Team Secret melting SBTC's tank line, but that's okay, they've got three of them. They've got three frontline tanks, all to buy space and time for Julian Kirol to chip away at Team Secret and bring this gold lead back within 1,000. Pull this gold lead back towards SBTC's favor.
And you know, TJ, we've talked about this before. As I look at these fights, I'm often distracted by this front line from SBTC. Or you still have guys like Julie, like Hero, who are putting damage or are vibing. They're free hitting in the back. And that's exactly what happened. Both of them still very strong at the end there.
Yeah, that's the game plan for SBTC. Is if they can force Team Secret to fight front to back, to fight through those big, beefy frontline bruisers, there's no way for them to actually access Kirol and Julie. And both Kirol and Julie are relatively mobile champions as well, having the package little blast from Julie, the satchel charge, and Kirol's arcane shift. They're going to be able to jump away from whatever engage gets over that front line. So it's actually a very nasty team fight that SBTC is going to wield through this mid and late game.
Nice moves from SBTC to pick up the Baron lane out here turret. Azaz down in the bot side as well, trading though.
And you get our first taste of something that SBTC have built into this composition as well. Up in the top side there, whenever you see an Ezreal and a Ziggs in the same composition, they're going to absolutely destroy turrets. Ezreal can go ahead and buff up his individual auto attacks against turrets, and Ziggs, of course, has the package that can drop the last third of a turret's HP. So they just absolutely destroy them. And whenever SBTC get a fight advantage, they're going to take 2-3 turrets.
Trevor's coming in here big. They're locking on the TF, but look at how tanky he is to the Gargoyle Stone Plate. Team Secret unable to capitalize.
Unable to get past the front line. This time, though, Team Secret make a very good call. They go, okay, we've spent a lot of our engagement, we've spent a lot of our resources to get into this fight, and we've not gained any access to the key characters. We've not gained any access to Kirol and Julie, so we're just going to back away. And I know it's not very flashy, but that's a really good little bit of gameplay from Team Secret to realize that they can't make anything happen there and be able to pull away from it.
And across the competition, Team Secret, well, they played a lot of games, and it seems that with each opponent they face, they start to pick up a little bit more. They get a little bit better at doing what their opponents do, and can see this kind of discipline that you would look from these Taiwanese region teams. They're doing a very good job over here, TJ.
Yeah, but this composition's so hard to deal with. Look at that siege! Team Secret are playing really well, but SBTC can just force him off of the turret, and you can see Hamas genuinely doing an incredible job on the Galio, kind of zoning, using that taunt as this AoE on the theory, the generally correct theory, that he can force the damage dealers who are sieging that turret away from the turret, lest they be taunted. But there, he doesn't have any access to Kirol and Julie. They just take a little step back, do a little shimmy, step back up, turret's gone.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
It's working. It's a fast reset.
I love this. Team Secret, they realize this game's going against them, so they're starting the Baron in order to force a team fight. Here we go.
They're making a quick play, looking to take down Aquino first. He will fall. Commences come back for the re-entry. Minas standing by the side. Not able to get anything done. They started up the Baron. Team Secret were able to get the pick off as well.
Yeah, really well played by Team Secret. Here's the danger, though. Re-engage.
Re-engage with the Moonfall, but it's Tatsuri that's come online. Going on a killing spree.
Kirol wasn't in that fight. SBTC make a very critical mistake there. TF and Minas go for this re-engage, and Kirol's nowhere near. It's just Julie to do damage there. And if you don't have those two damage dealers, Julie and Kirol, then Team Secret out-damage you, especially with the power spike, as you've seen Chewies come online, and they absolutely melt the front line. A massive series of engagements for Team Secret as they bring the game back into control, and now they can play aggressive into these team fights.
Intelligent play from Team Secret, but now with this Infernal Drake coming up, they need to commit to a fight. Gold pretty much even on both ends, nothing too substantial. TF's gonna walk forward first. They try to move into the pit. Rebels jump onto Kiro, but they still have to get past this initial wall. Chewy's now online trying to dish damage out, but unable to take down TF first. Minas late to the party. He's finally here though. Azar is gonna get pulled back by the Flay. They cannot finish off these kills. Flashing with the dense sentence. Azar will flash out as well. Chewy gets enough distance to get away.
And whenever you see these team fights, Team Secret cannot get onto the back line. Julie and Kirol are protected. They're in a hermetically sealed safe room. There's no way for Team Secret to get into the damage dealers as they get funneled into these narrow choke points past Minas, TF, Akino, the tankiest characters you can wield in their respective roles. There's no way to access to the highest damage dealing characters you can wield in their respective roles. And so despite Team Secret coming online, despite them having a good turn with those last two kills, they can find no traction in the dragon fight, and SBTC get their third consecutive dragon of the game. If they get Elder, this game is over.
Such a difficult match for both these teams. Nobody dies in that team fight, TJ. Played around the Infernal Drake. Neither side were able to grab a kill, and a lot expanded. But they're back up now, and with the Baron available, Team Secret are looking to run it back, I think. This could be a chance for them to find these pickoffs again.
I would love to see them continue trying to force proactivity, because that's what the fake Baron take was. More than anything else, it forces SBTC to step into them.
Okay, this is an interesting start here. Treble's gonna have to burn the Crescent Guard. Not much spent on SBTC.
And anytime Team Secret are able to force SBTC to step forward into them, they get to select where the fight happens, and they get to try and engineer a situation where they don't just get funneled into those narrow choke points past the tanks.
Tatsuri's come in here, but it's onto Aquino. It's a low priority target. Now he's caught in between 5. Will fall. Minas picks up the kill. Hamas joining in now as well. He gets the taunt off. You still have to look out for TF, who's building up so much space. The backline, a distance away from the fight.
Team Secret just can't get in. You see Tatsuri, they're the highest mobility character on Team Secret. Full engage, look for the backline access, and just not find it.
They're looking to take this mid lane turret down. The inhibitor will fall, and SBTC, well, that's the express lane into the base of Team Secret.
Yeah, just pumping the brakes on everything Team Secret want to do. SBTC have played this game so effectively. This is what makes them one of the best teams in the world. And Team Secret need to throw something out of left field, as they so often do. Need to show some of that miracle energy in order to pull this one back, because at this point, SBTC have such a lead. They're going to have control as this Elder comes up. And again, if SBTC get the Elder or even the Baron at this point, this game is over. Team Secret need a miracle. And I guess the good news is they are unusually good at them.
With the gold still as tight as it is, and on some good targets, well, if they find the right start to these fights that they were looking for, well, things could turn out that way. For now, though, both sides are going to try and reset a little bit here. Go back, pick up the items that they needed. Team Secret had to make a beeline to the Baron to make sure that SBTC weren't on it. And SBTC, well, they get to reset now. They get to establish their own pressure around Baron. And Team Secret need to check into them.
Yeah. One thing that might matter as we go late game. I'm going to hold this thought. SBTC looking for a fight. They're trying to force the Baron here. TF starts the action very far forward. Look at this tank front line. Just demanding Team Secret's attention, forcing them to disengage and not even think about being able to commit mobility, being able to commit engage onto that backline. SBTC are so brutally aware of Team Secret's movement options, and they're being sure to expend them.
You might have to watch out for this. They flank across. TF's not going to be able to find anybody, though. They're moving on the treble now. The Crescent God comes across. Move ball. Kiro dashes away. And you have this front line that bounces, stopping you from joining into the party in the back. Chewie will get in with the killer instinct, but he needs to face off against Kiro, who's still free hitting, who's flashed away. But Za is right there with his number. Mina has come in as well. And they're looking to take down the river. It's a flash forward. TF is there, trying to take him down. Just a little bit more damage is all they need. But he's dashing away. Bella's coming back up. The shield is there on the turret, but he will fall. And the 5 dead for Team Secret.
Game.
That's the game SBTC had moved in.
And just like that, they're going to be able to accelerate out of the early game to a dominant team fight after team fight chokehold on game number 3.
Sure that, okay, I'm sure that in reality that they don't actually plan for this. I mean, who would? But it somehow works for them, Riku.
Yeah, it's like, the BO7, the full distance win conditions for Team Secret. And look at this! So much respect to Akino.
No thresh.
So this could be a potential Gragas versus Scalio matchup that we saw back in earlier towards the playoffs.
I think there's a couple more support picks that would be really interesting here as well. Both Aquino as well as Hamas are more than proficient on that Rakan. That's something that we could see come in. Kai'Sa is unbanned, so if either of these teams grab the Kai'Sa dive composition comp, we could very well see Zyra Rakan as an answer. But it looks like Team Secret, they are going to go with the Gragas. This will be a flex for them as well, I believe, but most likely going to Hamas. Now, this pick stood out for me yesterday. He was so impactful against Buriram, constantly finding multi-man flash engages, huge cost as well. I want to see Hamas really step up and be the supportal combat king for Team Secret if they want to win this game.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be that one of the primary engage, I suppose. Yep. And now Chewie on that range. Again, with the Gragas, it means that the Yasuo composition is still out there. Without the Vi, it can still definitely work.
That's definitely true. And I do want to point out really quickly, TF on Vi, the last time we saw him play this champion, he was popping off. I think his KD was something ridiculous, like 10-0 or something along those lines. With him running it back here today, I'm quite curious to see what Trevor has in store. Alright, Nunu is a fine answer, but keep in mind, Riven is a very slippery champion. It's going to be hard to get on top of her and hold her down with Nunu.
Yeah, they definitely need something else. And I feel like the Chain of Corruptions will be that soft answer, I suppose. You are going to anticipate SBTC to run into your face, including Kiral, with a killer instinct. So Chewie must those are critical chain of corruptions to deter any aggressive play.
Definitely. He needs to be a key member of these fights, starting things out and hopefully closing things out as well for Team Secret. I do like the adaptation for this Twisted Fate. Oh my goodness. Are we finally gonna see Azar split push on Fiora? That is generally the cue. When you have Twisted Fate, you want to play to the Fiora lane. Will Azar finally stop coming to team fights and try to end the game in the side lane?
I think it's a huge possibility going up for that 4-1 split push. We've seen him perform super well on that Fiora. We saw the highlight from earlier as well, which was again getting that Baron steal and playing towards the late game. I am excited to see this push through because it has been a while since we've seen Tatsuri on this TF.
Yeah, definitely something to look forward to. One of the many things to do so, of course, going into Game 4 of SBTC Esports versus Team Secret. Can Team Secret begin their comeback right here, or will SBTC Esports want to take it to match point? Casters, over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Mika, and well, Team Secret have come in here with guns blazing, bringing in a team composition that I'm really much liking here, TJ. SBTC Esports doubling back with what we've seen before as we jump into this game number 4.
Yeah, I mean, SBTC have brought the same things to bear, Grandin, but last game they ran this really heavy frontline composition that was entirely reliant on Kirill's Ezreal to pump out damage. This time round, Kirill's on Kai'Sa, who does not have as much damage. So unless SBTC get an early lead onto Kirill or a dominating lead onto TF, they don't have enough damage to repeat what they did last game. And Team Secret, I think, have left the draft phase with an incredibly good composition.
Changing things up with Treble, they've built and gone back into this Nunu. It's been something they've liked going into playoffs. I think they get this in the game number 4, though. It's looking pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, we can talk about the individual elements of this. This is fundamentally the pick composition that we saw SBTC run a while ago. Lots of teams have been doing it. Tatsuri is going to be on this Twisted Fate, looking for engages across the map, especially once he hits level 5. You can expect that teleport to come in, and his main utility to the team is landing those big gold card stuns. When he lands a gold card stun, there's a ton of follow-up. Chains of Corruption from the Varus and Chewy is the easiest, most classic, but you also have Hamas on his trademark Gragas, able to open up fight with casks, and of course his body slam stun, and Trevor doing this.
Oh, misses out on the Kiba, so can't follow
Not
through
doing
with the
that.
damage.
Hopefully doing a little bit more than that.
It's an interesting stuff for sure. Team Secret, while they're starting to play a little bit more aggressive around the mid lane, you want to free up space for Tatsuri. Make sure that this Twisted Fate is going to be able to hit that level 5 mark quickly, start making his way around into separate lanes so that you're able to build pressure, especially for Azar, who's had such a captain's performance on this Fiora in multiple games at this point.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Azar back on the Fiora. He does need to beat a Renekton, which is a, frankly, really tough lane, just because the Renekton provides so much more utility to the team fight, so he doesn't need to press it. The Renekton can sit kind of happy in the lane and then come down to the team fight as long as he hasn't been blown out of lane and provide massive value, whereas the Fiora needs to have a gold advantage in order to be the real team fight tower that Fiora can be in Wild Rift. Rather like League of Legends PC, though, worst case for Fiora, if she goes dead even in lane, she can still be a split push threat in the late game. And Team Secret have that. That's the other thing I like about their draft. Should we go to late game, they've got a ton of mobility on the map. I'm looking at the Fiora and the Nunu and the Twisted Fate. And that means they can constantly be threatening different objectives, threatening different turrets, and getting out alive.
I think that's why it was so important for them to make sure that Kino had some kind of a global champion, to make sure that they had the Galio as well as the Ziggs, because you need to match the pressure that Tatsuri and Trevor are going to bring. But aside Team Secret, if Azar's going to be able to go to the side lane and you'll constantly have this looming threat of the Twisted Fate coming in, well, it makes things so complicated for Minas. Oh, it's making it starting to move in onto the top side. They'll flash away from Azar. It's going to stay safe.
Yeah, he picks up the honey fruit while he can, gets reduced value out of them because he's burning. He's going to call in the backup. Here we go.
Big moves coming across. Gold card's already used, but flash away from Tatsuri. SBTC will get out.
Little early from Tatsuri. He arrives in lane before anyone else is in sync. Oh, down bottom.
But they win the 2v2 in the bottom side, and Team Secret will find first blood somewhere.
Flash arrow from Chewy. On the Varus, he's been so good on all tournament. He flashes forward to land an arrow onto Akino, and James even looks for more onto Kiro.
He wants this, TJ. He's looking for something here. Stepping forward.
Because, again, Kirol is so much of SBTC's damage. So if Team Secret can start dominating that lane, can turn on the Varus, use the Varus's range advantage to shut down that Kai'Sa during the early laning phase, it's really hard for SBTC to win fights in the mid-game.
And it doesn't matter if Team Secret can't get First Blood topside, they're gonna find it in the bottom end instead. Now, Dragon and Rift Tower both available. TF is going to set up towards the Rift Tower early. Kino's gonna make sure that Team Secret does get a free pass, getting vision around the Dragon.
Yeah, early objectives up. Both teams are going to feel equally confident fighting for them. But these are both two-team fighting compositions. SBTC, I think, do have a slight disadvantage because Kirol's been forced off a wave. But Kirol does have a ton of early damage on that Kai'Sa, so they're going to be very scary. Team Secret handshake into this. They're going to take 4 up top and take the Rift Herald. SBTC burn the Drake. Now, do they contest the Rift Herald?
They're running over quickly. Couple of ultimates still not up, specifically TF's there. Corrupting Chains comes across. Satchel Charge doesn't find much there, but they're going to go into the mid lane instead.
Yeah, and they turn for it. Look at those arrows. Julie's
Damage
so
onto
low.
Julie. They're looking for something here. Might be able to just take down Aquino before he can even respond. And Tribble's still chasing after a little more. You see the Chilling Smite come across. Kiro's had to reposition with the Killer Instinct. But they've taken down the Nunu. And TF's still there. Return with the body slam. Go-Kart flies the full distance. But TF will survive.
This arrow's big.
Oh, so much damage.
He can't quite find it. I thought he might get the kill with that arrow combo. I apologize. They live on maybe 1 HP. And Team Secret, you have to be happy with that because it maintains the status quo. It's essentially an even trade there in the mid lane, and they're winning the status quo. They benefit from the systems that are in place, so there's no reason for them to be upset at a tie. But it could have been so much more. You have a couple things that go wrong here for Team Secret. First of all, everything goes right. Akino goes in forward, and you see here that Julie and Kirol just don't represent the same amount of damage that they did during game number 2. They press forward here and do offer some damage, and Trevor oversteps, underestimating Kirol's early game damage on Kai'Sa, what TF can offer on Riven. And then I really believed in Chewy, but he can't find the damage. And it looks like we're going for a round 2 here, as SBTC set up very aggressively.
Exactly, this is really interesting because Team Secret, while they're playing towards this side, but there's not much to be gained here.
Yeah, well, both these teams want a team fight. If you think you can win a team fight with these compositions, with this matchup, you should go for a team fight. That's kind of the game we're playing. So if both teams think they can win a team fight, then one of them is wrong, and we shall determine which.
I mean, TJ, SBTC, they still don't have all the ultimates up, so this could be a window that Team Secret want to try and push for.
Yeah, Team Secret are going to try and speed down the mid lane whilst they have this opportunity, but I don't think the ultimates mean too much for SBTC. I think you could see by how they were positioning that they were perfectly comfortable taking a fight, at least while they had 5. TF will be fine. The big things to watch out for as we get into this mid-game, by TF, are going to be the ultimate from James. If we can see some of those trademark explosive casks, James single-handedly wins games on those. And also, what's Azar up to in the sideline? What did he get done while the rest of Team Secret are doing this?
I love that you highlighted this point because he's managed to generate a goal lead for himself, but like you mentioned, both of these Baron laners distant from the fight, and the fight standing down bot side. Nice dodge away, that Killer Instinct will get him away from the crowd control. Available for Team Secret, now they're chasing after. TS right behind, moving on to Treble. It's fight on 2 fronts. Julie's gonna finish off James, and they're chasing after more, but the piercing arrow will take down Aquino.
And Tatsuri steps up to the front line, still fishing, setting up for Azar
Azaz
as
here.
he comes in.
They need to back off. Azaz walking into the river, so they know they need to back off. Venus will find a little bit more damage in the mid lane during this time.
And Azar should be enough to scare Venus away. I don't think Azar has enough of a lead to fight a Renekton. Team Secret go pretty even in the trading, come out with a lead thanks to Chewy's arrows. He's so good on the Varus. It is almost incomprehensible how much damage he's able to find. Because if you can land a Varus arrow onto a squishy backline target, you get those kills. The problem is it's really hard to land those arrows. Hello, Rift Herald. And when we get to see the arrows just positioned so perfectly, like Chewie so consistently does, it's just a real treat for the eyes.
That was Corrupted Chains expanded by Chewie, so not available for this next Dragon fight.
Drake is up down bottom, but the Rift Herald up top is forcing SBTC to split their forces, so they can't contest this Dragon. That's because Minas had to deal with that Rift Herald that we saw making its way through the top lane rather leisurely.
But seems like SBTC will repay the favor, get the mid lane turret, and maybe looking at the second one at Baron lane as well.
Yeah, so that makes it very important that Team Secret find this turret down bottom. There's a full defense mounted by SBTC. They're going to fight for this.
Good rotation coming through from SBTC. 3 on 4. Not the best fight possible, but there we have it. Go-Kart locked and ready. They're jumping onto Aquino first. Good damage coming in. It's the wave clear from Julie to assist them as well, but they'll take down Aquino first. Killer Instinct to the back with the Captain Rain to finish off the kill on the treble. Unable to convert it into more. Minas is flashed in, but the lockdown of the Hamas to take down this Gragas.
And Kirol finds the angle during that fight, soaring into the backlines behind a very good Mega Inferno Bomb from Julie. The combination burning through Trebor's HP. And with Trebor down, they're missing a frontline bruiser on Team Secret, meaning that SBTC like their odds.
Look at these angles, TJ. He has a protractor out right now. Put it on his mobile screen. Because Kirol's found these amazing angles coming through, and well, we finally broken that status quo, TJ. SBTC Esports, they've generated a small lead for themselves.
Yeah, they step up and force some very favorable fights. And we see something happen twice there, where SBTC really benefit from Julie's Mega Inferno Bomb. It happened during the earlier fight that they technically lost, but only technically. He's getting such good damage out of those ultimates, but also he's built the Oblivion Orb, and I think that's important to flag. I'm going to flag 2 of his items here, actually. The Oblivion Orb really important because every time he lands a Mega Inferno Bomb on 5 people, those 5 people don't get to heal for the next couple of seconds, which is very impactful if you're a frontline bruiser that thinks you're going to be able to regen and survive these fights. The other thing I want to tag is he's running Luden's Echo, which is why those Mega Inferno Bombs are doing so much damage, because as the first spell that he's casting in team fights, the Luden's Echo is buffing them up to do massive damage.
DJ did out on the bot side. They're trying to pick up this turret, but SBTC have moved on to the Baron.
Hazard, does he know? They do now. The Twisted Fate ultimate from Tatsuri lights up the battlefield. Here we go!
But it's down to 2,000. They need to finish this one off quickly. We'll go over to SBTC. They're turning the fight around. Treble's there. Kill's jumped into the back lines, but he's looking low. Has to flash, still falls, but they've taken down 2 as well. TF joins back into the fight. Aquino's buying time, but Aquino is going to go down. Azar hot on his tail. It's 2 versus 2, but SBTC have stolen that Baron away.
Very well played by Team Secret to limit the number of Baron buffs on the map. And I love Hamas' movement at the very end of that fight, turning away from the low HP Trevor towards Azur, because he knows if there's a way that they stabilize the fight, it's through the Fiora, who has more damage, who has more teamfight presence in the 2-on-2s, the 1-on-1s. Very well played by Team Secret from what could have been a disastrous scenario, but you still get this for SBTC, and check out what Kirol does, spotting an angle here, and for I think the 3rd time in a row, getting into the backlines and finding a kill. Even though it's traded out by very good AD carry play from Chewie, it still continues to bode poorly for Team Secret, as that Kai'Sa gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
And such a difficult fight for Secret once Chewie is dead. Even if you take down Kirol, you still have a little bit more damage with TF there. But once Chewie's gone, well, a lot of that front-loaded safe damage that they have afforded for them is gone. SBTC gonna siege down the bottom side here, but look at this, the 3 members sieging this don't have Baron buff, but it doesn't matter because you have a Ziggs.
Yeah, and the Ziggs can just burn through turrets. Here's the Destiny, though. We're gonna
try and punish this. Teleport coming in to try and match the play. Minas joins in. He's gonna jump on the Tatsuri first. Chewie a little bit far away, but he has the corrupting chains across. Looking low, they try and reset the fight. Kirol facing off against Treble, taking down Azar with the Captain Rain. They've cleaned up Secret for a triple kill on the side of TF.
For an aces, SBTC turn the fight, and they might end the game here. They will
Send
end the
it,
game
DJ.
here. 19 seconds, that's it.
Send it, TJ, all the way down into the next as SBTC will move on to win 3 games in a row and find themselves way ahead in the series.
That's wild. They're now 1 game away from match point. This will be match point.
That has the best chance of doing this. I mean, they've done it before, the reverse sweep. Right now, though, SBTC Esports, I am so scared of them. Minas, Minas leading the charge, definitely scary. And we saw the tone that SBTC Esports wanted to set by putting Minas in right away. I thought that was just basically like SBTC Esports saying, no, we're going for that championship. Sure, you can have game 1. Sure, you can play around a little bit. But with Minas over here, this
No
is basically
games.
ours.
Then they're not playing any games at all. And keep in mind, this is match point here for SBTC. If they win this, if they secure the championship with this, Minas would have only lost 1 game in his entire playoff run.
My goodness.
It's really insane. This man is popping off. And look at that. Oh my goodness. In match point, he gets the Camille again.
I think that is just absolutely scary. And the fact that, again, Riven is open for the taking. Will Team Secret give the Riven away to TF once more after his amazing performance? Team Secret placing a lot of importance towards the double poke comp. And now they must have the Gragas. They need a big disengage because SBTC, if they get Riven Gragas, Riven Galileo, I think that's pretty scary.
This could also be lining up for James to possibly play an Enchanter, Nami, as well as Janna. It's not impossible for him to pull it out here. We'll have to see what bot lane picks SBTC up to go for. But if you see these 3 picks, I feel like this might be when you pull out the Janna here for James. With that in mind, though, it's a very scary team comp coming in from SBTC. Now the burden is on Team Secret to play with finesse to keep them at arm's length. If you can't do that, if Camille gets on you, if Riven gets on you, the Galileo flies in, your Ziggs and Varus are just done for, and it's looking like a tall order for Secret here on match points.
Exactly. They need the Janna. They need James as that enchanter.
Well,
remember the double disengage with the Gragas Janna combo that was extremely popular during the Summer Super Cup? But if this gets locked in, the Renekton, meaning either the Gragas can still be towards the 3, but never mind because we already have a Ziggs.
Yeah.
It could have been the option of top lane Gragas, but look at SBTC
Maybe
now
Trevor will
hovering
play
and
it.
they lock in. Oh, Julie.
Oh,
That's
boy.
true. You're right. Maybe Trevor.
I really like this draft coming in from SBTC. It tells you one thing. We are gonna go. No more finesse necessary. We are going to dive into your backline. Ezreal's gonna fend for himself. We know Kyrios mechanically insane. He can do that so very well. You know what I'm thinking here, right? It might actually be a Graves top lane, and we might see a Gragas jungle. We'll have to see if that one pans out. It might still be a Graves jungle here for Trevor. A lot of flex options for Team Secret, what we'd like to see from them. But SBTC, yet again, their comp is solid.
Yeah, the fact that they have double globals as well. So if ever Team Secret tries something during the early game, especially level 5, they're definitely going to get outnumbered with the Destiny and as well as the Hero's Entrance. So Team Secret has to be wary of their timings.
Yeah, and of course, we have seen Team Secret do the impossible here at the Wild Rift Sea Championships. Right now, though, this is possibly the biggest challenge that they're going to have. If they're gonna pull out any miracles, it has to come out right now as we enter game number 5 between SBTC Esports and Team Secret. This is game number 5. Let's go over to our casters.
Thank you very much, Mika. We're going into game number 5 of SBTC Esports on a roll. 3 games back-to-back and Team Secret backs against the wall. They need to make a miracle run, TJ.
They have a good draft for it. I do like this composition, and they are a team that has done, as Mika was talking about, miracle runs before, granted. Getting into this, I want to pick apart exactly what SBTC have brought to the table first, because I think it's a little more relevant. They need an early game lead.
This may be where they find it. Minas needs to flash away.
It's a little bit the opposite of it. Julie is pressing really aggressive as well, because again, SBTC need an early game lead. The reason for that is they don't have a lot of tanks. They can't really fight without enough damage to dominantly win those late game team fights. And the way you get enough damage to do that is you have a major gold advantage. And the way you get a major gold advantage, granted, is you start the game with some picks. So, SBTC, during this first 10 minutes, are looking to get those gold coins into their bank accounts.
I am looking towards Minas, though, because he's now gone back to the fleet footwork, not going to play for that Destiny and Dying. This is a different take on this matchup up against Azar. And Azar, well, he's been that big carry potential through the playoffs. He's come online during the playoffs. But now in the finals, he really has to step up again, TJ.
Yeah, this needs to be a major performance for Azar. is he's one of the key elements of this Team Secret draft. He's playing the Renekton, a dominant character here at the Summer, at the Sea Champs. Summer Super Cup was ages ago, but it's still wired into my brain, Granton.
Sure.
But he's playing one of the very important characters for this draft because they need the frontline tank to set up for the damage they have in Trevor, Tatsuri, and Chewie. And so, Azure finding kills like that with a crazy flash is very important.
Absolutely. Down the bottom end, they're trying to trade back. SBTC will find one, but look at Tatsuri. It's going in aggressively. Gold card comes across the barrier, will block a lot of the damage, giving more auto attacks, flashing forward, looking for the kill. But Julie gets out.
Kiro, 1 HP down bottom as well as TF cleans up the fight in mid. Everybody on SBTC is 1 HP, but none of them die. And so the kills remain dead even at the 2-minute mark.
DJ, my heart is pumping. What a start to this game.
Regaining some of that composure, the Team Secret Gold is in some good positions. Trevor and Azure both want early leads to be that tank and to be the late game scaling. Trevor, of course, we've already seen his performance on a Fed Graves. It's next to none. And Team Secret have that late game pretty much locked down. If they can get to an even late game or an advantaged late game, they will probably win. That's a good place for Team Secret to be. SBTC on the opposite side, though, they need advantages into their key damage dealers early. And cast your eyes over what's going on in TF's bar on the scoreboard. And I don't know, be a little dismayed if you're a Team Secret fan, because he's got a decent amount of gold, and that's a good start for this Riven jungle.
Absolutely. Getting closer to that first item. We see the Destiny Gate come across.
Now, top side in real trouble here.
But it will respond very well. SBTC backs off now.
Destiny Gate was looking for an opportunity. There are two kinds of Twisted Fate ultimates you're going to see this tournament. One of them is what you just saw, which is, hey, I'm casting this ultimate to see if I can get into your lane and get a player advantage, win this side lane 2v2, turn it into a 3v2. The other thing that you're going to see, we saw a decent amount of this from Team Secret during the last game in the late game. Oh, dangerous stuff here.
Julie needs to watch out, but the Ignite coming across is an Ignite Twisted Fate for the solo kill in the mid lane, right as Dragon's about to spawn.
Julie is low, but nobody's in position to clean it up, so yeah, that's a pretty major pickup. The other thing you need to watch out for Julie doing as we get into the late game is using that Twisted Fate ultimate to gain ultimate vision on the map, setting up for SBTC's macro. That's one of their secret weapons. I said that Team Secret have a better late game team fighting composition, but with that Twisted Fate ultimate, SBTC can avoid having to team fight.
Well, they're moving towards the Dragon, and I don't think they can avoid a team fight. If they do choose to continue doing this, Dragon's gonna reset.
Azure's taking Rift Herald, I think, up in the top lane. Or maybe he's just kiting away, setting up vision. I don't know. He was in that pit on ward. So SBTC feel like they're mandated to check it out. And the combination of the poke that Team Secret were throwing down bottom and Azure running into that pit up top forced SBTC away from the Dragon, effectively neutralizing the kill they found in mid, which is a very big win for Team Secret, because remember, all they want to do is extend this game as long as possible, and that little bit of macro they just did exactly that.
They've brought back the Graves here, TJ, but this time in the jungle role. For Trevor, it's a little bit less playmaking potential than we've seen generally from him so far in the series, but putting more expectations on him to provide some of this damage, especially with his Bloodthirster start.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen what Graves does in the hyper late game this tournament and this series, and it works very well in the jungle. That's one of the reasons why I think this game is tied up with the Team Secret colored bow if we get to the very late game.
Well, they're trying to take down this turret, but the minion wave's cleared out. Very good reaction from Tatsuri there.
Yeah, the Mega Inferno Bomb from Tatsuri just deleting all the minions. Don't think there's anything else. Kiro, oh, rooted, but over the wall.
Safe, but that was a close one for Kiro. You need to be a little bit more aware of that. Without his damage source, the Dragon started up by Team Secret.
Yeah, they can do this Dragon because they know Kiro just had to retreat. Here we go.
Fine stance off, explosive cast, knocks them back, but Team Secret unable to finish it off, not with SBTC collapsing in on them.
And SBTC turned the tables, forcing Team Secret off of the Dragon this time. Team Secret, though, are okay with this again because this poke game favors them. They want this game to keep going.
They get some control, pressure back towards the Dragon now. But Kyros losing a lot of health quickly. He just came back from base.
The pressure to take risks is on SBTC in these situations. Team Secret are comfortable sitting back and watching them squirm.
Oh! I mean, I think that's just a teaser for what we're expecting, TJ. Piercing arrows from Chewie when they're going to be critical in this game. If Team Secret's to pull it back, Kyros sent back to base once again.
He's so good on this Varus. Anytime I see Chewie pick up the Varus, I just know we're in for a good time. Do you, at this point in the game, still have the Rift Herald and the Infernal Drake up? All the action has been down here towards the Infernal Drake. That's because the Infernal Drake is the most important objective during the early game of Wild Rift. It's actually incredibly powerful. So you're always going to see teams skirmish over it, fight over it, especially in a game like this where SBTC need extra damage for their late game.
Very good move from Aquino there. Blocking Hermes, making sure that Julie's safe. Dragon once again started up. TF will be joining in now, but Minas is on the other side of the map, TJ.
Oh, missed Chain of Corruption. That's the ghost sign. Here come SBTC.
They're jumping onto Chewie, but they don't have the damage to finish him off. Kyro's joined into the fight as well, but it's a little bit too late. Look at Julie. He's wrist position. Missed position on the other side of the fight. Hermes faces off against the Ignite, taking down low. One more auto attack finds it, and he goes down to the Ignite in the end.
Support for support trade as Team Secret play for their tournament lives. SBTC pushing the wave up top and take a turret in exchange for an evenly traded fight down bottom, and they are going to win the exchange overall, securing themselves a turret and the Infernal Drake. Can Team Secret now contest this Rift Herald?
Team Secret had to hit hard when SBTC was down a member in that previous fight. And while we saw what happened there, Aquino correctly recognized Chewie as someone he needed to disperse from the fight, brought him all the way to the back, and so SBTC were able to make it a pretty even one overall. Now Team Secret, just like you mentioned, TJ, can they contest for this?
Poking around the side, Hamas and Chewie are going to chip away at these HP bars, but they don't have a way to get into the pit, so it's just poke, it's just an attempt for a steal. And they don't get it. SBTC's gold lead during the early game balloons, and it's not just the gold at the top of the screen you have to be worried about. It's also that Infernal Drake adding some damage stats for the rest of this game.
And it's like we mentioned, TJ, the burden to make aggressive moves in the early game lies on SBTC Esports. Team Secret is happy to just allow for this so long as they find things to keep them in the game.
Yeah, the question is just, have Team Secret lost too much? Have SBTC put the nail in the coffin? And Team Secret are going to find themselves asking this, I suspect, for the next 5 minutes or so. If this is going to be a late game, this is going to be one of those Team Secret games where they're left on their back foot defending their nexus, and if they win a team fight there, and they can win a team fight there, they still have a chance to turn the entire game around.
They've opened up 2 of the side lanes so far, and so it's pretty reasonable to expect Minas to continue to try and build some pressure there. Aquino might get caught out. He's stepping up pretty far forward. Team Secret, Chains of Corruption misses out, so they cannot finish off Aquino. Gold card is ready. They're trying to move in onto Hermes if they can. True Shot Barrage finds a decent amount of damage and taking down the Gragas. Minas is joining as well. They collapse in the mid lane.
A very good play by SBTC, and some poor pathing from Hama has cost him his life, and I think it might cost them the turret, at least most of its HP.
They still have this Ezreal, so it's going to go down pretty quickly, but they've been able to hold on to a pretty good defense. Aquino's coming in from the side. Azar palms the Dominus, holds on to this ultimate, so he gets the health boost, and they're going to be able to get away. Kill nearly goes down.
SBTC generate more gold. Now 7,000 in the lead over Team Secret at just the 10-minute mark in this game. This is SBTC's game to lose, and were it any team other than Team Secret, I would already be declaring them the champions. Having said that, it is Team Secret. They do turn these games around, and they need to stay alive in this tournament.
And here's my thing, TJ. Because of how late that first dragon was picked up, Team Secret have a very real chance of finding this Elder Drake in the late game, and that could scale them out of proportion.
Yeah, the delay on that Elder does help. There is some positioning. SBTC, of course, don't want to go to the late game. They recognize everything I've just told the audience. And so they would very much like to press their advantage here, end the game before Team Secret have a chance to pull out one of those miracles.
But Julie's a distance away. On the other side of the map, he's not going to be there for SBTC Esports, so they can't quite punish Team Secret just yet, but they're playing towards the Baron, getting some information. Now, no fear from Minas there, TJ. No fear.
Drake is up. Mountain coming in just about 30 seconds. And so Team Secret must pay attention to it. Do they dare team fight? I think not. I think Team Secret ought to be thinking about just pushing in split lanes, trying to find picks on the opposite side of the map. And that seems to be the plan.
Well, Mess is coming in from the back. Minas needs to watch out for this. The Gragas comes in here with the boys' time early on. Needs to commit the explosive cast. Goes across, but it's too late. The hook shot's already out.
This is why you play Camille on the sidelines. And look at SBTC collapsing upon this extension.
They're moving in fast. They've taken down Chewy first. The big marksman gone on the side of Team Secret. TF comes in, gets the third strike. They're knocked up in. And Team Secret, they're held under turret, corralled in.
Watch the inhibitor. Watch the inhibitor in the mid lane. This could be the game. If it goes well for SBTC, this could be the tournament.
They're looking for the pickoff of the Trevor. They can't finish him off yet. The gold card comes in. He's down.
And there goes the inhibitor. There's SBTC setting up to win this game as Team Secret, exactly as we talked about, are now up against their Nexus with nothing to defend it for the remainder of this game, and their only hope lies in a late game miracle team fight as SBTC are determined not to give them that opportunity. They're starting the Baron and there's no jungler up for Team Secret.
Aquino is at the back trying to buy time. Chewy's coming in here. He's looking for this. They're jumping back into the pit. He's got out. And it's Julie that gets the Baron.
SBTC have all the tools they need, all the ingredients to mark themselves as the champions of Southeast Asia. And the only thing they need to do now is walk these Baron-empowered minions down the mid lane and into Team Secret's Nexus.
It's down to this final play. All SBTC Esports have to do, like you mentioned, TJ, walk the minions in, end the game here. They're gonna go down to the bottom side first, setting things up, not looking to play too aggressively, not when they don't have the ultimate up yet.
Secret do have some advantages. They do have some things that have just come online. Charge Blade for Trevor, big amounts of crit. He's gonna hurt teamfight. Same story with the Abaddon for Tatsuri and Muramana online for Chewy. If they are going to make a miracle happen, it needs to happen now, as everything, all three lanes are crashing simultaneously. Here come SBTC for their crown.
Moving in hard and fast into the base of Team Secret and taking down the second inhibitor. Jolie's up in the top side, building space for the rest of his team, while looking for that as well.
Pressure in from two waves now as the inhibitors have been blown open. One inhibitor remains, and Team Secret, surely they can't defend this.
The third one in the sights of SBTC. Team Secret doing the best that they can, but they brought in the super minion waves in the mid side with the Nexus been exposed. TJ, this could be it.
This should be it. Here's SBTC auto-attacking the Nexus. The first tag on the championship. The first touch on their trophy.
You have to respond, Team Secret. This is your moment to shine, the play of your lives. You have to block SBTC. Aquino's moved on to the Nexus, brought it down to 2,000. A few more attacks go through it, and SBTC are the champions of the sea.
And just like that, they are the best team in Southeast Asia. The most aggressive team from Vietnam. The team that dominated Vietnamese regional competition. And they earned their title. After not making it to the finals of the Summer Super Cup, they come back swinging in the SCA Championship and convert on a truly spectacular game win.